Bucs bonus fans, you're going to have to deal with me this week because at WFLA, similar to the Bucs, just dropping like flies, and it's the B squad here on the left, but the A squad, Scott Reynolds, Aileen Hnatiuk breaking down Bucs Patriots and Bucs Bills here on Bucs Bonus.
Live from the Stream Center in Tampa, Florida, the home of News Channel 8, your official Bucs station. This is Bucs Bonus on WFLA Now.
You know what? It's a next man up mentality that we need here, Aileen, right? Next man up mentality at WFLA. And, you know, called up from the practice squad.
He's got jokes.
Here.
Look at this
I'm
guy.
here, you guys. Everyone, welcome into Bucs Bonus, of course, here at WFLA News Channel 8, featuring Aileen Hnatiuk of the WFLA Sports Department. And, yes, applause button for Scott Reynolds, coming fresh off of his appearance
thank you.
On the Rondé Barber Show.
That was fun. Yeah.
Man, the YouTube comments.
Got all the buttons over there.
They were loving you, Scott. You and Scott Smith.
I love them.
What a great show that was. We'll try to produce an encore here today. The Bucs don't want an encore of what happened, of course, with the Patriots losing to the Patriots last Sunday. Final score 28-23. Let's get right into it, you guys, and break it down. Exactly how were the Bucs exposed? Scott, why don't we start with you? What do you think was the reason why the Bucs, of course, getting off to a hot start, firing the cannons with the Emeka Egbuka touchdown right out of the gate in the first quarter, and then things just sort of changed as the game went on there, especially in that second half. How were the Patriots and Mike Vrabel able to expose the Bucs at home on Raymond James Stadium, fresh off the bye that week?
I think the Patriots played great football. The Bucs played good football. Mm-hmm. And when you play good football, it's not good enough against a great opponent. And that's what the Patriots are. They're 8-2. They are this year's Washington Commanders, right? You look at the veteran head coach, the defensive-minded head coach that comes in. Last year it was Dan Quinn. This year it's Mike Vrabel taking a young quarterback from that 2024 draft class. Last year it was Jaden Daniels. In Washington this year with the Patriots, the second-year guy, Drake May, who was picked one spot after Jaden Daniels. And they're just catching fire right now. They're playing really good football, not a lot of weaknesses. And to me, it came down to the Buccaneers stalled out after that first drive offensively. And then the Bucs defense played reasonably well outside of some explosive plays that were the difference in this game, Aileen. You look at that 72-yard touchdown catch from Kyle Williams, 2 breakaway runs from Travion Henderson. Those were really the difference in this game. Tampa Bay, when they had explosive plays, they really didn't score touchdowns. But when the Patriots did, it was costly, and they turned into touchdowns.
I love that you say the Bucs played good, not great, right? The Patriots played great. And it's those 4 big plays on defense that you bring up that everybody's upset about, rightfully so. We had our Bucs with Bulls interview, which you can check out on our website at WFLA.com. And he made a comment. He's like, I'm pissed, they're pissed, we're pissed, like we're all pissed. And still, that's like a day after, right? We saw in their post-game pressers, they were just as emotional, but they have the 24-hour rule. And it kind of seems like they're bringing that fire into this week, as they should. So, and they need to, right? We'll see a very motivated Bills team as well, because my goodness, of course, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I think those 4 big plays on the defense, they couldn't get a rhythm going on any phase of the game, whether that was offense, defense, special teams. They just it was just, they were stalled after that first touchdown. You and I talked about that after the game. You said, it was just like they hit a wall, and it really sucks. Like, it just sucks, because we talked about the previous week, hey, this is like, all right, what kind of team are they? Are they going to be who the Bucs have been, or are they going to be who the Bucs were last year? And unfortunately, they came out on the wrong side. So I don't think you can judge them off of this one game, right? I think in sports, like, this happens, even to really, really good teams. Hopefully they learned from it. But it just, as a Bucs fan, right, it just sucks.
When you look at this too, right, JB, it's like they've lost 3 games now, and they've lost to the 7-2 defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, still leading the NFC East. You got a team in Detroit who's 6-3, probably, I think, wins the NFC North at the end of the day. And then this loss to the Patriots team, which is leading the Bills in the AFC East. Nobody saw that coming, and they're 8-2. So sometimes you can judge a team, by their wins. Sometimes you can judge a team by their losses. The Bucs have not had that stub your toe loss this year, at least so far. Let's hope it doesn't happen down the stretch against lesser teams. But
do it now if you're going to lose this way. Do it now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying nobody's perfect in this league.
Right.
Everybody's got at least 2 losses, and for Tampa Bay, it's not like they've been absolutely creamed.
Right.
Maybe in any game, the Lions probably the largest margin of victory for sure. But this was a game that was 21-16. The Bucs driving with 2 minutes left at the Patriots' 27-yard line. I didn't like the play call on 3rd or 4th down. I thought they should have ran the ball. They were averaging 5.4 yards per carry, JB.
Run the dang ball, Bert. Run the dang ball
on 3rd and 3. And you know what? We were all expecting, I think this is why fans were so livid after the game. We have been conditioned to these Baker Mayfield miraculous fourth-quarter comebacks. We saw him the first 3 weeks of the season. It was setting up that way after that Tyke Smith interception in the end zone to give Baker and the boys the ball.
Yeah.
And they were doing it up until they weren't. And then all of a sudden, this was a loss when at the 2-minute warning, you're thinking Baker's probably going to do it again, and this is probably going to be a 23-21 Bucs victory.
Yeah.
Is this a referendum on Grizzard's play calling, or is it more the hangover of a 7-day off period for the Bucs with the bye, there with Todd Bowles giving the team basically a week off?
I don't think it was so much the bye week. They needed that week off. You can ask anybody. I mean, they were mentally and physically kind of drained. I don't think it was that so much as it was, it was an inconsistent day from Baker Mayfield and an inconsistent day from Josh Grizzard. He had some good play calls. The first drive was beautiful. I mean, this is exactly what you want. Unpredictable,
right.
Completely stellar drive, 7 points right off the gate. But then there were some inconsistencies, right? I like the 11-yard end arounds. We saw those twice. There was some creativity there. I just didn't like that particular play call. Baker Mayfield, you look at the stat line, 65% completion percentage, Aileen, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. It looks good on the surface, but yet on 3rd down, this offense was 5 of 13. Baker had 10 dropbacks on 3rd down.
Yeah.
He was sacked on one of those. On the other 9 pass attempts, only 2 converted 3rd downs out of those 9. One was the touchdown to Tez Johnson, the first one. The second one was on that final drive where they had an 11-yard completion. They needed 10 yards on 3rd and 10. But outside of that, it was incompletions or throwing short of the sticks. So, again, good day for Josh Grizzard, good day for Baker Mayfield. Not great, and it was not good enough when it was mattering the most on that 3rd and 3, of course, at the end of the game.
Well, you look at the score, it's really not, it's not terrible, 28-23, right? You look at the score, like you said, look at the stats. It doesn't look like they played the way they did. And the old saying, when JB, you bring up, was it the play calling? Was it this? Was it that? When it rains, it pours. And I feel like it was just a bad day for everybody, and it was a good day for the Patriots. I think if it was a bad day for the Patriots, it would be a little bit of a different story. But the Patriots played good. Like, they played really, really well. And the
just
Bucs
about
didn't.
Mistake-free, really.
Yeah. No, I mean, really. And hey, did you guys get the saying that I just said, the run the dang ball? Did anyone, please name the movie, because I look like an idiot just saying, run the dang ball, and you guys just keep, what's the movie? Come on, say it. Blindside. Blindside.
Oh, my goodness.
You guys know that with Sandra Bullock?
I was Googling.
By the way, she went to East Carolina. Just want to throw that out there for a semester, but we claim her. Anyways, it's just it just sucks because you look at the score, right? It's not that bad and whatever. And then Baker, his numbers weren't again, like you said, Scott, no interceptions. No interceptions. Like, they didn't the stat sheet is whatever, but
they won the turnover battle 1-0, but it's one of those kind of games where the Patriots, outside of that mistake, they really didn't make many. And the Buccaneers on defense, they had those explosive plays. They couldn't sustain some drives on offense, and that was the end of the story.
And I just want to talk about the decision making with Jamel Dean and Benjamin Morrison, but I know that could be a whole 30 more minutes.
How about that? Let's just. I feel like we have to get to this one question.
Okay. Yes.
Really, before we move on to the Bills, because I know we're going to talk about the Bills here in just a moment. The NFL was in a love affair with Baker through the first 6-7 weeks of the season, roughly, give or take a week or two, depending on where you were in the schedule. Now the love affair has shifted, and Drake May is the ooh and ah sort of object of affection.
Flavor of the month,
league-wide, right? Flavor of the month for sure. Worthy of that. After you guys watched him, play against the Bucs this past Sunday, you guys were there. So what was your assessment of Drake May?
Aileen, I'm a fan. I mean, when you look at quarterbacks are judged on wins and losses, right? And right now 8-2, that's a fantastic mark in the league, and certainly in the AFC and the AFC East. They've already beaten the Bills once, right? They have a chance to sweep the Bills. It's kind of crazy to think that, but when you look at the Patriots, he's playing tremendous football.
Yeah.
He's being the guy that they thought they were getting with the 3rd overall draft pick. And right now he is playing better than Caleb Williams, who was picked 1st overall, and he's playing better than Jaden Daniels, who's been beset with injuries. So he's as good as advertised. This is not a fluke. It just took him a year, and he's got the right offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels, who's developed some quarterbacks for sure. And I give Drake May and the Patriots their props. He made some really tough throws, especially under fire. The touchdown pass to Kyle Williams was on the money, under duress, and it turned into a 72-yard touchdown against Benjamin Morrison. And we can talk about that if you want, but I think he and the Patriots are as good as advertised.
I think so too, and you got to give them their credit. And Patriots fans haven't seen this in a while, and go ahead, enjoy it while you can. But yeah, I think he's also flavor of the month. There was a quote Baker said a few weeks ago that was like, when you're doing well, they're here. When you're doing bad, like, media's here. So you just got to ride the wave, stay in the middle. So I think they're fine, and his mindset's fine.
Yeah,
and they'll be okay.
I'm not going to feel bad for Patriots fans. They're going to look that there was no decade of darkness, Scott. It was like 3 or 4 seasons between Brady and May. And if they have another franchise quarterback, they're going to look at the Gerard Mayo years and be like, what? That was a real thing? Right. Yeah, no, it was a real thing.
But, and you know what, JB? Like, Baker Mayfield has an opportunity in this head-to-head matchup against Josh Allen on Sunday, and then again in prime time against Matthew Stafford, another guy who's garnering NFL MVP talk. He can be right back in this thing.
Right.
Tampa Bay surprises everybody and beats the Bills and the Rams, and does so in 2 high-profile games, one of which is on national TV. He's right back in the conversation.
Yeah.
Especially with the Bucs record not being all that shabby at the moment, of course, at 6-3. Final points from each of you on this game against the Patriots before we look on to the Bills.
I would say Tyke Smith is a star in the making, right? He's got 2 sacks on the year. That was a clutch interception that he's made. And now Todd Bowles has got 2 playmaking safeties. Aileen, it's not just Antoine Winfield Jr. wearing the superhero cape. I think Tyke Smith's got a cape too. This is the dynamic duo at the safety position. It allows Todd Bowles to do so many things and be flexible. He can have either one of those guys as the single high safety, the other guy in the box blitzing, pressuring the quarterback, making tackles for loss. It's an absolute godsend that both of those guys are playmakers for Todd Bowles in the secondary. It's just going to be a fun duo to watch. I'm glad that he replaced Jordan Whitehead at the strong safety spot.
I'll go on the other side of the ball. I think they have 2 really special players in Tez Johnson and Emeka Egbuka on the offense.
Absolutely.
Obviously, them both scoring last game, and they've just been day in and day out at practice, on the field, when it comes to game time. They're not acting like rookies, right? It's insane to see.
10 touchdowns between them.
It's crazy, dude. And I want to see more from the running backs. I want to see them step up even more, even though they had a really good game last week against the Patriots. Sean Tucker, right, 53 yards on the ground. Patriots haven't allowed that all season, if I'm correct, right? I'm correct? That's the stat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So want to see more from the running back room, but love what Tez Johnson and Emeka Egbuka are doing. They're both roommates too, best friends. So that's also really cool.
So some good headlines to take out of the game
despite
the loss.
Note.
I love the optimism here. We'll try to carry that optimism into the matchup with the Bills when the Bucs Bonus, of course, edition with myself, Aileen Hnatiuk, and Scott Reynolds returns right after this. Welcome back. It was 34 degrees this morning at my house. Scott, Aileen, I don't know about how cold it was for the two of you. But you know what? With Buffalo coming into town, I'm sort of feeling that cold weather. And I'm glad. I'm grateful that the game is the game is remind me.
It's in Buffalo.
It's in Buffalo. So
this is
it's going to warm up a little bit too.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
right.
It's
I'm
cold
right. We're
up
coming
there
off
right now, but it's going to be warmer this weekend.
So the game is in Buffalo. It's going to be warmer, but it's going to be in the 40s with maybe a chance of a sprinkle. Which, if I'm reading the latest forecast,
right. No, you're right.
So it could be a cold, wet day in Buffalo. Talk about a big difference from the weather that we, of course, are used to here in the Tampa Bay area. Let's preview Bills, Bucs in Buffalo, New York, and start with just kind of the unexpected in that the Bills coming off a stinker of a performance against Miami. Will the real Buffalo Bills please stand up? They are still 6-3 and looking prime for a playoff position, of course, in the AFC East, even though they trail the aforementioned New England Patriots in the AFC East. But as we look at this matchup, you guys, which Buffalo Bills are we going to get? If you're the Bucs, you're hoping it's the same team that just put up a dud against Miami.
Can we say it on 3? Because I feel like Scott and I are reading each other's minds. Are we going to get the real Bills?
Are you?
Okay,
I think they are.
Yes, I was going to say yes.
This kind of reminds me a little bit, Aileen, of like that Lions team the Bucs played on Monday Night Football when the Lions got embarrassed on Sunday Night Football in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Right? That was a pissed off Lions team. I think we're going to see the same type of Bills team. It's just going to be a matter of can the Bucs match that level of ticked offness, right? I mean, that's what it's going to be. Both of these teams should be ticked about. The Bucs letting an opportunity slip by their hands, and then the Bills getting waxed down there in Miami. Nobody saw that coming. It's going to be a challenge. I think I expect Todd Bowles is going to be stop James Cook at all costs because this Bills offense is not terribly explosive. Aileen, it's Josh Allen can hurt you with his legs or his arm, and James Cook can hurt you as a running back and as a receiver out of the backfield, but it almost kind of reminds me a little bit because they haven't gotten so much production on the outside at wide receiver, and Dalton Kincaid, their star tight end, probably going to be out for this game. George Kittle wasn't playing for the 49ers, and the 49ers, it was kind of like, stop Christian McCaffrey, and you have a chance of winning that game, and that's what Todd Bowles' defense did. If they follow that same strategy and tackle well and not allow that big play to escape either in the passing game where we've seen running backs torment the Buccaneers in the passing game, or that one big play out of the gate, as we've seen Jahmyr Gibbs and Travion Henderson hit. Right. They can do that. They got a chance to win this game up in Buffalo.
Yeah. The biggest thing is execution, right? Because they didn't do that last week. So they need a good week of practice. I believe they're going to have one too. I believe all of them are on the same page. I think they're going to tighten things up. I think the energy, again, this is, Tuesday, practice starts on Wednesday. I think we're going to see and feel an energy that is incredibly focused, incredibly motivated because a few of them mentioned last week in practice, they were having some issues, right? Some mistakes, and those mistakes showed up on the field. So I think they're going to be, really locked in this week. And I think as we're going to get the Buffalo Bills, right? They're going to get the Buffalo Bills that the Bills have been. I think we're going to get the Bucs as they have been before the Pats game.
I think so too. This should be a good game. I think a better played game from both teams because execution was a problem, certainly for both of those teams on Sunday, whether it was against the Dolphins or the Patriots. And, JB, when I look at this, I think that the Tampa Bay's defense needs to get back to really taking the ball away because that was kind of the recipe for success. They were getting 2 takeaways per game, and when that happens, you're stealing a possession from the offense, and you're giving Baker Mayfield the opportunity, with the offense to punch one in themselves. It's got to be the case because 1-0 in terms of the turnover ratio wasn't enough last week against a really good / great Patriots team. They're going to have to get back to causing some multiple turnovers. And I think if they do that, they're going to have a chance.
How do you frustrate Josh Allen? I mean, we're talking about probably up there with Lamar Jackson as one of the more dynamic, playmakers at the quarterback position in the league. If you're Todd Bowles and you're talking to your defense this week, what's the message? How do you get under his skin in his in his comfort place, which is playing in Buffalo, New York, especially when the Bucs are coming in? And again, I'm checking the forecast again, a high of 43, drizzle expected around kickoff time.
Aileen, to me, when you're attacking Josh Allen, it's no escape lanes. It's keeping him in the pocket and then getting to him. When you have the kill shot, you got to take it and you can't miss. He's a big guy. He's strong. He's agile. He's fast. He can get out of sacks. But when you have the opportunity, whether it's a blitzing Jacob Parrish or Antoine Winfield Jr. or Tyke Smith, or whether it's a blitzing linebacker, Servacio Dennis or Levante David, or whether it's Anthony Nelson or Yaya Diaby or Vita Vea up the middle, whoever has that kill shot has got to take it, and he's got to get Josh Allen on the ground. This can't be where Josh Allen extends the play by shrugging off a Buccaneer blitzer or defender, moving around it in the pocket, and then finding a big play down the field, or finding an escape lane and then running for a first down on, say, 3rd and 9, and then keeping those drives alive. That's got to be the big thing. You have a shot at Josh Allen, you got to take it. You got to get him on the ground. If you do that, that's where the frustration can sit in.
Yeah, contain him. And the defense, they need to stay disciplined, stick to their assignments. If everybody can just do their one job, their one thing that they got to do and stick to that, I think they'll be fine.
Of course, the Bucs and the Bills play this weekend, Sunday. Oh my goodness, that is what date is that going to be? That is going to be Sunday.
I don't even know what day it is right now.
Week 11. My God, we're already here. Week 11.
My gosh, week 11
in the NFL.
And it's 11/11.
It is. Make a wish.
Make a wish.
Make a wish. We are going to put Scott and Aileen on the spot here when the, of course, this edition of Bucs Bonus returns. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Stream Center as we end out the program. I'm going to throw a curveball to our guests because I think it's going to be an interesting test. And I have a question for both of them as we head into this matchup with the Bills. And Scott, a little bit earlier on the show, making a good point that we have a couple of big matchups, with the Rams on tap next. This is a fun part of the schedule. You would prefer against an easier set of opponents, I'm sure, but still some great football games on tap if you're a Buccaneers fan. Here's where I'm going with this. The Buccaneers have had to endure more injuries this season than the average NFL team. It's been a lot of next man up. It's been a lot of players who have had to ascend into a role that they weren't expected to find themselves in midway through the season. At the beginning, the offset of the season beginning. So here's the test. Aileen, Scott, name one player, any Buck that is injured, that if you could just wave a magic wand and bring back for the remainder of the season, let's say the remainder of the year, you can bring back any Buccaneer.
This is fun.
Who is it? That's the test. That's the game.
Wow. Are you going to go
Aileen, ladies first.
Okay. I'm going to say Bucky.
Interesting.
I'm going to say Bucky Irving.
And why? Explain your pick. I mean, of course, we've had Rashad White and Sean Tucker filling in admirably as the season has developed.
Well, I don't want to make anyone upset by saying this, but I think if you bring back Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, obviously they've been dealing with injuries, and I don't know. I'm kind of scared they're going to get injured again. And I think Bucky's young and fresh, and I just feel like he's really, really reliable. Not that Mike Evans or Chris Godwin aren't, but just genuinely answering the question, I would say Bucky Irving.
Interesting.
Scott,
I don't think Bucky is a wrong answer, and I don't think Mike Evans is a wrong answer either. I was going to go with the other one that you didn't mention, Aileen, because I think they're both right. Bucky Irving has that breakaway running ability, right? He's not the home run hitter where he's going to give you a 70-yard touchdown. He's going to get caught from behind, but that's probably going to be after 30 yards or 50 yards, right? He has the ability to make you miss and just break off big runs. We saw Sean Tucker have an 18-yard run against the Patriots on Sunday. That's the longest run by any running back this year. And you think back to last year, Bucky Irving would have one of those 20-plus yard runs each game, it seemed. For me, though, because you said Bucky, and again, not the wrong answer, I'm going to go with Mike Evans, just because
of
he's
course.
Mike.
Because
right?
of he's Mike
Mike
Evans.
and Emeka and Sterling Shepard and Tez Johnson. That's a quartet that's really hard to beat. And we got like a glimpse of that up in Detroit, but it wasn't meant to be. And so, I think if you could magically heal that clavicle and get Mike back out there, it would just open up this passing game, and it would make everybody's lives easier, including Baker Mayfield. But those other receivers too wouldn't have the coverage rolled their way, and Mike could be Mike, and Mike is great.
Would you have said Mike if I didn't say Bucky? Be real.
Yes.
Okay.
I would have, absolutely. And if you would have said Mike, I would have said Bucky. So, yeah.
In the YouTube comments, let us know below. I can't help but wonder how Kalijah Kancey would have taken the next step had he been healthy this season.
Yeah.
I've always been so tantalized, wondering about what Kancey, at his best would look like. But these are no one's going to argue with Bucky Irving and Mike Evans being picks, because both of them can transform a football game just by being on the field.
You're going with Kalijah?
Well, it's not. I'm not an insider. You guys are the insiders, but I just really, with football.
You're not wrong either.
No,
I
no wrong answers here.
He helps the
Let's
pass
have them
rush
all
for
back.
sure up front.
Yeah. All right. Your predictions for Patriots. I'm sorry. No, Bills. Patriots was last week. JB, get it together.
An iguana fell from the sky and hit all of us in the head before we came on from the coldness. So apologies, guys.
Yeah.
Cold, yeah.
Bills, Bucks in Buffalo on Sunday. Who you got?
Well, Aileen, I know you're going to pick the Bucs. You never pick against the Bucs.
I
right?
actually am going to go Bills by 3.
Wow. Okay. Whoa.
Okay. And I hope I'm wrong.
Last second field goal, right?
Yes.
Second field goal. Okay.
I think it'll be a battle.
To me, I don't know that the Bucs have ever won in Orchard Park. I don't think they've won up there in Buffalo.
I could look that up.
I don't know that they're going to. This is a game that is winnable for Tampa Bay. There is a path, or multiple paths, for victory. It's just, I also see the same for the Bills. This is going to be a close game against two evenly matched 6-3 teams. Both have injuries, both have their warts, both have their strengths. I just like the Bills at home in this one. Hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I think out of the next two games, this is the more winnable game. That Rams game seems more difficult to me.
Yeah.
But I like Tampa Bay's chances. I just wouldn't be surprised if the Bills win. I'm going to say Bills by 3 as well.
Interesting. I just look, if you believe Google AI, just a quick search in Google AI, the Bucs have never won in Orchard Park.
Wow.
So how about that?
That's why Scott Reynolds
to
is
make
who he
a
is.
little bit of history. Of course, Bucs Bonus. You can find it right here on your official Bucs station, WFLA News Channel 8. We appreciate our Bucs insiders, Pewter Reports, Scott Reynolds joining us here on the program, and of course of WFLA News Channel 8, Aileen Hnatiuk. I'm JB Biunno. As always, go Bucs, and we'll see you next time here from WFLA. See you, folks.